ITV News Central, good evening. There's a warning tonight that children in the Midlands may have been given Christmas presents that contain a dangerous chemical. It's been used to make a variety of dolls in China and is said to be linked to cancer and birth defects if swallowed. In a moment we'll hear some advice from a doctor, but first here's our correspondent Keith Wilkinson.
She loves it, she loves that doll. Don't you? Yeah.
4-year-old Olivia Lee from Darlaston is upset because she's been told by her mum she can no longer play with her favourite doll. She's worried it's potentially dangerous because of chemicals trading standards officials say it contains within the plastic body.
She's really important. To get her to sleep at night, she lies in bed with her. If Minnie's not there, she don't go to sleep. If Minnie's there, she cuddles up to her and she sleeps. Minnie reads her a story. Everything, she just loves her. Everything about her, she loves her.
It was almost a year ago that ITV News Central highlighted concerns about a range of dolls made in China and available in Britain. Trading standards officials in Sandwell said they were potentially lethal for children. Despite the warnings back then, it seems the problem has not gone away. They've been on sale across the Midlands and across Britain. We've had more than 300 emails from concerned viewers, and the ITV News Central website has had more than 400,000 hits, mostly since Christmas Day. We showed Olivia Lee's doll to trading standards experts in Walsall. The news was not good.
It does contain a chemical which is phthalate, which is a harmful substance, and if consumed, which will lead to health hazards including cancer, birth defects. And we're fearful that children have a tendency to chew on toys, and this substance here, which is contained within the plastics, is very, very dangerous indeed.
And as for a variety of other dolls, including this one,
we're advising people to check on Walsall Council's website to actually identify the likeness of these toys, and we ask them to take them back to the retailer that they purchased them from. And we are requesting all retailers across nationally to actually remove them, and we are sending a strong message that if these are not removed from the shelves, we will go in and remove them.
ITV News has seen similar looking dolls on sale on eBay. eBay says it follows local government legislation and doesn't permit the sale of illegal items. Yesterday it appeared dolls were being offered for sale through Amazon, but Amazon say they are not available through them. A site we saw yesterday was no longer there this evening. This little girl has other toys to play with, but she is now missing her favourite. And many more children could be losing their dolls in the coming days as word gets round about the risks of playing with presents, which, according to the experts, have hidden dangers. Keith Wilkinson, ITV News.
Well, earlier I spoke to Dr. Ian Campbell in Nottingham and began by asking him how concerned he was by chemicals in the dolls.
Well, obviously I'm very concerned because there is no safe level of this chemical, and we know that it causes problems with cancer in prepubertal boys, it causes problems with sperm count in adult males, and problems with the liver and the kidneys, and it's unacceptable that children are being exposed to this chemical in this way.
Well, that sounds terrifying. What about these chemicals? What chemicals are they exactly?
Well, DEHP is a plastic softener. It's used in everything from floor materials, polishes, and making children's toys. And it can leach out of the plastic into the skin and into the bloodstream. And we know from animal studies that it can cause major problems, and there's enough evidence for it to be linked to the potential of causing cancer in humans for it to be listed as highly likely that it's carcinogenic.
Is there any way of knowing if any damage has been done?
Well, the chemical is around us in lots of different forms, and we've all been exposed to it. It's highly unlikely that any child is going to suffer direct damage as a result of contact with any of these dolls. The main thing is that no level is safe. It should be avoided whenever possible, and if anyone has the doll, unfortunately, they really should stop their child playing with it.
So that's your advice, actually. If you see a doll, just get rid of it.
Unfortunately so. You cannot put any acceptable level of this chemical around your children, and it should be avoided whenever possible. There's no need to panic, but certainly eventually, in some tactful way, remove the toy from the child. Yes, that's my advice.
Can I just clarify one point? Is there a situation where there could be long-term damage? Frankly, you probably think it's all right at the moment, but say 10, 15, 20 years on, there could be a problem?
Well, the problem is that you can't see any immediate damage, and it would be a long-term problem. So exposure over a prolonged period of time, not just through contact with one individual thing, is likely to cause problems. And of course, it's difficult to know who would be affected, but what we do know statistically is that prolonged exposure to the chemical makes you more prone to various different problems, including cancer and liver and kidney problems.
Dr. Campbell, thank you. And some fresh news tonight on this story. Councillor Ali, who is featured in our report, says Walsall Council has alerted the European Commission about the dolls, and today the Commission has raised the matter with Chinese authorities. And there's more on this story and advice on our website at itv.com/central. Other news, the ambulance service is preparing for one of its busiest nights of the year. Controllers are expecting hundreds of extra calls tonight as people are out for the new year. Emma Burrows has been to the control centre near Dudley.
Ambulance service, is the patient breathing? And what's the address of the emergency, please?
Is the patient been drinking? And how much do you think he's had tonight?
This is where the West Midlands Ambulance Service will be dealing with our calls on the busiest night of the year. On New Year's Eve, call demand doubles. On an average day, they deal with around 2,500 calls. But tomorrow, 50% of those will be taken in the first 5 hours of New Year's Day. Last year, they dealt with 5 calls every minute. That's 1 every 12 seconds.
We plan for this with military precision throughout the whole year. We set up a command and control structure. We've put on additional support services, so our staff will work tirelessly and flat out throughout the whole of this period. We get the normal trouble line calls, but also we'll get an increase in alcohol-related falls, injuries, people drunk, overdoses. So please drink wisely, think carefully, pace yourself.
Trading Standards is also warning people to be careful with what they drink after bottles of fake spirits were found on sale in shops in parts of Birmingham and Walsall. They were found to contain ingredients also found in antifreeze and can blind or kill. Trading Standards says people should watch out for bottles with wonky labels, bad spelling or brands they're unfamiliar with, so they don't end up spending a night in hospital. And to take the pressure off hospitals and A&E departments, the West Midlands Ambulance Service will be running a treatment centre in the centre of Birmingham to patch people up on site and then send them home to bed, rather than to a long wait in A&E. Emma Burrows for ITV News in the West Midlands Ambulance Service Control Centre.
MBEs, CBEs, Knights and Dames, Buckingham Palace revealed the annual New Year's Honours List today, and for the first time in its 97-year history, it has more women on it than men. Our region is well represented, and while there is, of course, the expected clutch of celebrities, the list recognises many ordinary people for services to their communities. Callum Watkinson reports.
There's been another murder, man. Murder? Oh, good heavens.
With Angela Lansbury and Penelope Keith among them, there are more dames and ladies than lords and sirs on the New Year Honours List for the first time this year.
You stupid man.
It's wheeling trolleys, not treading boards, that's earned Cecily Gilbert a British Empire Medal, though. Recognition for more than half a century volunteering in the library at Good Hope Hospital.
I started, you see, when I got married, I suppose, 1958, had a 6-year break for the children, and then came back, and I've been doing it ever since. But it has been great fun, and I met an awful lot of nice people, and I loved books anyway. I don't know, it just sort of gave me a chance to do something useful and something I enjoyed.
Birmingham-born tennis legend Anne Jones gets a CBE for services to tennis. She beat American Billie Jean King to win Wimbledon in 1969.
Hundreds of lives within the NHS.
A CBE too for health campaigner Julie Bailey for services to the care of older people. She says she'll dedicate the honour to her mother, who died at Stafford Hospital in 2007. Cecily Gilbert's mother wasn't far from her mind as she spoke of her award today. She set up the Good Hope Library in 1948.
She decided that I was there with nothing to do, and I'd better jolly well come and help. I don't know that I had much choice, but I think she'd be thrilled to bits, actually. She'd be absolutely amazed. But she was of the opinion that if you had the time you should do something. Was it the Queen Mother who said, your contribution to society is the rent you pay for being on this earth and being sort of able to do it? And I think she was quite right. My mother used to quote that occasionally.
Which is exactly the spirit that puts ordinary folk on this list alongside the famous. Callum Watkinson, ITV News, Sutton Coldfield.
Congratulations to all. Now, time for the New Year forecast. A good start to 2014. Here's Kerry Gosney.
It could be cool in Birmingham, but somewhere in the world, the sun is shining. ITV Central Weather, sponsored by Turkish Airlines.
Hello, I'd like to take this opportunity to wish you a very happy new year and all the best for 2014. For New Year's Day itself, it starts off pretty unsettled, and we are expecting outbreaks of rain and some pretty strong winds, followed by some pretty hefty showers for the afternoon. But if you're managing to stay awake until midnight, it's not as unsettled as it could be. Clear spells this afternoon replaced by showery outbreaks to the west, could be heavy and blustery in nature. Then settling down for the second half of the night before this area of low pressure swings in from the southwest as we head into Wednesday, New Year's Day. So, overnight tonight, a mixture unfortunately, clear spells, fairly blustery winds, pretty chilly air and some showers if you catch them, scattered, but they could be heavy and blustery if you catch one. Into tomorrow, might start off dry but cloud thickens from the southwest, outbreaks of rain move in, will be heavy at times followed by heavy and frequent showers into the afternoon, so it's pretty cloudy, wet and windy for New Year's Day for daylight hours. Not too bad on Thursday, drier and brighter but breezy. Another wet and windy spell on Friday and staying unsettled unfortunately into the weekend. Take care.
ITV Central Weather, sponsored by Turkish Airlines.
That's it for this year. There's more on the New Year's Honours list at itv.com/central, where you can also catch up with any breaking news. We're back in Daybreak on Thursday. From the team, though, a very happy New Year to you.